I'd like to call order the committee of the whole meeting of Monday, May 18th, 2020. Roll call, Trustee Curtis,
Here.
Trustee Martinez,
Here.
Trustee Carroll,
Here.
Trustee Gately,
Here.
Trustee Lowry,
Here.
Trustee Capino.
Here.
Very good. Audience comments, trustee comments. Our first discussion is TIF, and Toth is going to do that.
Yep. Thanks,
All right.
Mayor. I've been working with the owner of the A&W restaurant at 113 South Lincolnway. They're looking to do parking lot improvements as part of the Façade grant program. If you recall, the program matches up to $20,000 at 50% for allowable and eligible expenses. They're looking to replace 8 segments of their parking lot, which equates to roughly 2,100 square feet. They're looking to do so sooner rather than later. The total project cost on the lowest of the 2 bids was $9,700. So at their 50% match, they will be requesting $4,850 from the TIF Façade grant program.
I'm fine with that.
Yes, very good, Mark Gately.
Sounds good.
Thank
They
you.
wanted to do more, but I guess he cut back, so.
Yes.
All right, let's go on to item up. You got your
Yeah, I'll bring a resolution back, most likely at the June 1st meeting for approval.
All right. Item number 2, strategic plan, Mr. Bosco.
Thank you. Item number 2 is the strategic plan, and truth be told, there aren't that many changes to it. We were going to bring it forward to the board a while ago, but we figured since it was the strategic plan, we would hold off to try to meet in person. But as the stay-at-home orders kept getting moved back, at this point, we really just need to go through the motions of reviewing it and approving it. If this is the method we're going to be using for a while. So that being said, the good news is it's not that complicated to go through. After the workshop that we had with the village board several months ago, we basically only made a couple of adjustments. And in front of you tonight in your packet is a copy of the draft, and there's green and purple marked up on it. The green are any new objectives or action steps that we put in the plan, and purple were things that were already in the plan, but they got moved into a different section of the plan. So chances are we either completed something and got rid of a portion of a goal or an objective, and these were holdovers and we needed to give them a new home, so we put them in other places in the plan. So very quickly, here are the additions that we added to the plan, and I just want to ask the board if you have any questions or thoughts about it. And the first one is under the objective, develop amenities along the riverfront in Riverfront Park. We added something that says explore opportunities to expand Riverfront Park. And that would be so that if we ever look at opportunities for land adjacent to the area, and if ever becomes available, that's something that the board can and the staff can look into. Under the we created a brand new objective that was remove the Fox River Dam. And what's kind of funny about that is we had this, I think we had this in the plan years ago. And then when we had our grant to remove the dam and it expired, we took it out of the plan. And now the state's telling us that there was money available for it and they're doing the study for it. So we put it back in the plan. And now we have no idea if there's actually still money for it. So as of right now, we think we're going to put it in the plan and it's there. And this way, whether there's currently still money available or there's money in the future, it's there. So we added that. And basically the action steps that will work with the Fox Valley Park District and the IDNR on the processes of review. And then the other one we added was exploring opportunities to increase community events. And we did that in 2 folds. One was just the in-house, is there more opportunities for the village to do events in the future? And the other one is to work more with our partners at NORDA to see if they want to do anything by the riverfront. So these were things that was brought up at our workshop that maybe we could do more events in the future. Other than that, everything has essentially stayed the same. If there's any questions, Oh, I'm sorry. We did add one other action step on Route 31. We are going to evaluate options for sidewalks. We get some calls and complaints annually about it. The staff would love to see sidewalks on 31. I know the board has mentioned they'd like to see connected sidewalks on 31. The issue has always been that 31 is obviously owned by the state. There's a lack of right-of-way in areas. It was ironically going to be one of those things that the village engineer that we were looking to hire was going to start engineering and doing some work on that. Obviously, right now, we're still holding off on whether to fill that position with the economic uncertainty of our future right now as far as everything goes. So, but it's in the plan that's something that we would like to look into, which is sidewalks. So just to recap, once again, we have the sidewalks on 31s getting added, the expansion of Riverfront Park, the Fox River Dam, and we clarified one area where we said explore opportunities to acquire properties along the Route 31 corridor between John and Oak Street. Pretty standard. We've had lots of discussions in the past publicly about projects in that area. So now that just gives staff directions that when things pop up in those areas, we can start doing some research and work and bring it back to the board for review.
All right, very good.
The next,
Yep.
go ahead, sorry.
All right. Everybody agree with our strategic plan?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
good.
talk about North Aurora Days.
Okay, so the strategic plan I will bring back to the board for final approval at the upcoming board meeting. And Dale, you want me to go right into item number 3 then?
Please.
Okay, item number 3 on the agenda tonight is the discussion of North Aurora Days. As you recall, we had a discussion 2 weeks ago. The idea at that time was we didn't have to make a decision on North Aurora Days until June 1st. In the last 2 weeks, we've had a couple things change. Obviously, the day after our meeting, we had the Restore Illinois plan come out from the governor that basically says unless there's a vaccine or a treatment available, you're really not supposed to have groups of 50 or more congregating together. And then we had our regularly scheduled North Aurora Days committee meeting in which it was a good meeting. It was made up of the 5 members plus the staff that attends the meetings, and collectively we went through everything about the event and trying to determine how, if possible, to conduct this event. We looked at it from the aspect of public safety, public turnout, the ability to get volunteers, make them safe. Sponsorships, to this moment, we still have no sponsorship. So, if we went forward, the village would be basically funding the entire event, or more, almost all of it for sure. Contracts, like what contracts can we cut right now if we had to? Which ones would we have to eat the cost on if we had to? The risk to staff, such as the officers, every one of our police officers attend that event. We have staff like basically myself, Bill Hanna, our public works department. We're all at the event, so minimizing risk to the staff. And then, of course, like I said before, the governor's plan. And when we talked about everything from porta potties to garbage pickup to just the crowds and the beer tent operations, the committee unanimously recommended to cancel this year's event and to not consider doing an event this year and just focusing on next year. So we decided to go back to the board now. You've obviously seen there's a lot of villages that are in the same boat as us, and they're making decisions on fireworks and carnivals and festivals right now as well. So we're bringing it back to the board now for further discussion, and this doesn't need a village board action to cancel the event because it's our event. But I would tell you this, if we cancel now, we're in a good shape because we've already worked with a lot of our contractors. We have a very minimal financial impact this year if we were to cancel. Now we're anticipating that we've extended ourselves less than $10,000, and most of that we're already hearing from the vendors that we've contracted with that they're willing to move contracts to next year and or return deposits and whatnot. So it may only be a few $1,000s if that. like I said, more likely less than 10, but it could be a lot closer to 5 or less by the time we're done with this. So the financial impact really isn't bad right now if we cancel. If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to go over that. Obviously, Trustee Gaffino, the North Aurora Days Committee, so he's available as well.
I'm in favor of canceling, Mark Gately.
I'm fine with that.
I think
am
it should
fine.
be canceled.
Yeah, I am fine too. And I just wanted to mention, I think it's nice from all those vendors, and I think that we should take that into consideration for the next event. And as far as how much they were willing to work with us, because I'm sure that they probably, sustained some damages or sustained some loss, right? So whatever we can do to help them out or continue to reuse them on the next events, this to me is meaningful in a way. It speaks good of their work ethic.
Yes, Trustee Martinez, to your comment, in the conversations we've had, that's what we're doing. We're essentially telling the bands, the committee had made the decision that we'll keep the same bands if they're available next year. And we're asking them to just move the contracts. And same thing with the tent vendors, the stage, even the fireworks company has been very easy to work with. Central States does the fireworks. Technically, I think we have a 15% fee to cancel the event, which would be about $1,800. And they've already told us preliminarily that as long as we re-sign for them next year, they won't even charge us the 15% fee to cancel. So, I mean, I've been surprised how good everyone's been about working and moving it to next year.
Yeah, that's really nice from them.
Well, I think it's what's being done all up and down the river, and I think throughout the state. And, certainly the big things in the city of Chicago have been canceled. I don't see there's any other way we can do things. So I guess the feeling is to cancel.
Okay.
Not that we want to.
Well, just as we've said in the past, if things ever change between now and then, it doesn't mean that the village can't come up with something small if possible down the line. It's just at this time, no one really knows what that's going to look like.
Agreed. All right. Anything else to come before the? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn for the evening.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.